Well, it's a beautiful day again. Sun's come up, it's kind of cloudy. Good sunrise. Sunday morning, my favorite morning in the Bosque. Nobody's here. And I can hear music from town. It's kind of funny. There's a guy down there in Aranga who has speakers up on his house and he plays Sunday morning music. I've heard some people don't like it. I assume someone does. But the sound reaches all the way up here. It's hilarious. Up here it's just birds, which is nice. I love days like this. I really like it. Oh, there's my rooster.
When you wake up in the morning, hear the ding dong.
Puppy, hi. No. Puppy, are you ready for a new day? I'm ready for a new day. You know what? We got business to do. I know you don't understand me, but we got business to do. We gotta attack the world. We have to save everything. Yeah? Are you ready? Oh no, it's early. But there's people, and they're lazy, weakling children of the industrial world. We have to save them. What are you doing? We have things to do. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, you ready? Let's go. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we're going.
Little Rosie, how in the world do you know? I know by her apron and the dress she wore.
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm the founder of the Bosque Village. I come from the northwest part of the United States, and after a life of learning and doing things, I ended up here in Mexico, founded the Bosque Village. It's an agricultural and social experiment. When I was about 12, I lost my faith. I realized that there is no God, and that's because I read a lot of books and realized that if I was born in some place, I would believe that. If born in another place, I'd believe that. So then you get really the epistemological question of how do I know what's true? And so over the years I eventually was able to learn a lot, and really for me learning is not about education. It's about continually studying and continually questioning your own values. And if you do that long enough, then you become a stranger and stranger person who can hopefully creatively think up new solutions for the problems that we all seem to be victims of. So I looked for land for quite a while. I really want to live connected to nature. As a kid, I spent a lot of time in nature, and I'm used to forests and everything. So it was a hard search. I looked around, and eventually I realized that this part of Mexico really offers everything I want. It was a cultural change that was good for me at that time in my life. I was 37, and a good time to shake my head up. Came down here and just found this beautiful magic forest with all these different kinds of trees and birds and everything. And it was for sale from a gringa botanist. And so went ahead and bought it so I could make my visions into a reality. So we've got 33 hectares, that's 83 acres, and It's all forested. We're pretty close to some really nice small towns. And so we're ready to create an intentional community. And really, one that allows diversity, so really a small town. That's the vision, is a town that's designed in a new kind of way that's sustainable for the future.
Sally,
Good.
the favorite chicken.
Favorite.
Lock system. And here goes the rabbit food.
It's already full anyway, like, it's just too much.
You might have to shake it a little bit to make it all come down to the... There you go. That's good. All right.
Not for you. We should maybe save some for the little chicks.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're getting fed.
I think we need to feed the mum so that she feeds the chicks.
Give them a little different one. Yeah. It's the touching of the chicken.
Chaoses.
It's so much fun holding chickens because they're so cute. Like, they're just like little pets. You know?
Until they poop on you.
Oh yeah, I don't want it to poop on me. But look how calm. Like, they get really calm after a while.
She's very calm.
I think you
She
should
really
hold her. You've
likes
never
it.
held a chicken before.
I haven't held a chicken. All right. I'll hold this
Oh,
chicken.
oh,
It's
calm
okay.
down, calm down.
It's okay. Just don't poop on
Look at her
me.
little head. It's okay.
Just don't poop, please. Thank you.
Say hello to Sally.
Hello, Sally. ¿Dónde está?
Introduce yourself to Sally.
¿Cómo está?
¿Cómo está? ¿Dónde está? Aquí, aquí.
She's cute.
She is cute. See,
She's
chickens
nice.
are cute.
She wants to eat my hair. Well, that's very nice, Sally.
I think now people are starting to have more chicks in their houses. Maybe after
you want her
watching
back?
Friends. That's okay, you can put it down.
Put it on. Oh, it's okay, Sally.
So the things we've found as products so far that are the most tradable are rabbits and eggs.
Mm-hmm.
We have, when there's few people here, we have too many eggs. But generally I want to have the right number of chickens per eggs. And I actually want to, in town, I don't even want to get in the business of selling eggs. I want to get town off the commercial egg grid by having each house have a hen or two.
Mm-hmm.
That's a better scale. Centralized egg farming is actually not the best thing,
Yeah.
because people have food waste, and chickens just are this amazing food disposal or waste disposal system.
Uh-huh.
It's
And
gone.
fertilizer maker.
Yeah, they will eat anything.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get small scale chicken farming going. Rabbits, I do not believe are so good to do on a small scale, because most people would then have to keep rabbits in an inhumane system. They would have to cage them. What is here natively is a lot of really interesting plants that have medicinal value, many of which you can eat. Epazote grows here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of plants. The most important ones are the trees.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at an oak tree, it has more biomass than I don't know how much of a cornfield. And a cornfield is fallow most of the year. A cornfield is going to have dead earth, right? An oak tree is going to protect the earth. And so we don't think of oak trees as what we would eat, but they're really actually very important. We have oak here, we have pine, we have madrone, we have capulin. There's some other native trees, and those are actually coming back, because this land was logged a while back. So we're seeing trees returning.
Mis bisabuelos platican que ellos tostaban un poco y después molían, hacían un café, que es un café muy bueno. Nosotros también vamos a intentar ahora de nuevo para saber si es verdad o es mentira. Pero vamos a hacer muchas cosas. También podemos hacer decoraciones como collares o aretes, tal vez alguna otra cosa. No sabemos qué vamos a hacer con estas, pero no debemos desperdiciarla porque son bonitas y buenas. Tal vez son muy saludables.
So these are some cooked oak acorns, and they're kind of hard to open up. They're still warm. And you can eat them, but they always say you're supposed to soak them to get rid of the tannins. And then the question is, are we supposed to soak them to get rid of the tannins for flavor issues, or is there some health issue with eating these? I don't know. And I don't know if we really need to cook them. We could just crack them and then make flour. So we've got several options here. We don't really know what we're doing. That's all right. We'll take a couple paths and I'll go look it up on the internet.
Ahora voy a intentar hacer un café. y te voy a dar a probar un poquito para que a ver si te gusta. Corte.
So Chileno here has made a kind of a coffee-like stuff with oak acorns. It's not bad. It is nuttier, but it has a coffee-like feel to it.
Because it's in a mug and it's the same consistency.
Because it's in a mug and it's brown.
Brown.
It could be, but
And we haven't had coffee.
I've got coffee down there, we'll make some.
we'll make some coffee.
Let's compare. Make some.
I think we need to go to a Ruapan and find some to buy. I know the farm to go to. So, what, is yours different?
No, it's similar. Same. It's good.
That's good, yeah. Está bien, me gusta.
Sí, es tostado.
Yeah. Solamente necesito leer si es venenoso o no. Un detalle. We're looking for maximum biomass, and it does not have to be biomass that is directly useful to humans.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're also trying to feed a biosystem.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a lot of things in it that we don't want to eat. Some of them may even bug us, you know.
Mhm.
We want more animal life. There's foxes here, coyotes, bobcats, ocelots, armadillos, a lot of nocturnal life, a lot of bird life. We've already seen the bird life increasing radically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because we're not cutting things down. We're leaving trees when they fall, and that builds more fungus layer in the soil. Here you see roots where we cut. These are roots. Here you see something very interesting. Down here is very dry. This is what, a foot and a half or so. And that's how deep the water soaked in this kind of hard dirt. This is tough stuff. It doesn't look like it's living very much. However, as far down as the roots go, and the rain's able to permeate, as it's going to rain more throughout the season, you'll see mycelium like this. This is white mycelium. This is the mushroom, really. Mushrooms, many people think of as these things that come out of the ground like a plant from a seed. That is untrue. Mushrooms come from mycelium. It's a white, usually white networky of stuff, a fungus, and that's the actual plant. The mushroom that pops up is the fruit. So it would pop up right here on this. Well, it's 2012. Last year we did a lot of work with identifying mushrooms and our first attempts at propagating them in mass with mass spore inoculation or whatever it's called. And so we're seeing a lot more mushrooms, we think, in the forest this year, or maybe we're just more tuned into them. We'll have to continue our experiments to really find out if we've made a change or not.
When you wake up in the morning, hear the ding dong.
So what are you doing, Tal?
I'm feeding the dogs with homemade dog food and separating in separate bowls, which doesn't work because every dog follows you to each bowl. So the notion of separation doesn't really work. It's not disgusting.
They seem to be hungry.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Patsy, play nice. Get out of the way. I wonder what would happen if we tied some dog food onto a dog without realising, and then the other dogs would chase that dog because they're trying to eat the dog food.
You want to cause fights?
Yeah!
Patzari, Spaz, Contreras.
But Spaz is a half dog, because
Spaz is a
Spaz
half
is not
dog.
always here.
Yep, she's back and forth.
Yeah.
So, am I missing a dog?
No, I think that's
That is it. Okay, so I have
6.5.
6.5 dogs. I'm not sure if we should count this for a whole dog either.
She's getting there.
She's a dog and a half.
She's growing fast.
There's a lot of dog inside that little body. Whoop-a-doop. Whoop-a-doop. You want to be pulled around too? So the general philosophy we follow here is permaculture. Permaculture is often considered to be just about plants, but really we're looking at the entire system, the plants, the people, the entire culture. Because the goal here is not just to have your traditional or even permaculture garden where we cut everything down. The goal is to have a maximum amount of biodiversity. We're not just trying to feed us. And a lot of people, when they think about gardening, they're thinking, yeah, how can we get food for the kitchen? What we're really trying to do is first of all, not destroy the forest and the biodiversity that's out there, but kind of tweak things a little bit. Just change them a little bit so that we can start to get food out of that system. Hopefully, we can actually, especially now in the world where we can look at every single culture around the world, we can pick and choose how we want to live. We don't have to just live the way that our parents did.
Good.
Dad, let's see if you know how much 1 cup of flour weighs.
I think 200.
200 grams.
Yeah.
Do you know how much a cup of water weighs?
No. Well, depends how much water and how big
250.
yeah, but how big is the cup?
It's always the same, 250 ml, so it's 250 grams pretty much for water. So how much is for flour? So yeah, was making bread while traveling. It's a skill you pick up when you have no mama and you need to cook yourself. So every time I do something different, don't really have a recipe. Make up something and go with it. It says you have the meal here.
I don't know what. Oh, so you're going by how many millimeters?
No,
how
but,
milliliters
but flour
of
always
flour?
weighs, it's
Less.
different. Yeah. So you say
I
200.
reckon 100.
100.
50.
I say 125.
Okay, go on then.
And 25.
No, that's not
That's
100.
one line.
No, that's not 125.
God damn it, it's one line.
No.
It is.
No. Maybe. Oh, whatever.
Oh.
Hello guys, so we're back to cooking in the Bosque. Here with me is Tal, my assistant.
Oh, thanks a lot.
So we made 2 loaves of bread today. Tal made one. You can explain about
Basically, the 2 loaves were different in the sense that mine was less sweet, and this loaf of bread was using cinnamon, honey, and raisins. But I think they both came out pretty well. Yeah, they both.
This looks like a loaf.
It looks like a loaf. It's better.
Professional.
Mine looks less than a loaf.
And I didn't grease the pan, and it still comes out perfect.
But mine tastes nicer, so.
No, it doesn't.
Wow. We'll see.
Look, who nibble on what bread there is nibbles? On this one, because this is
That's because you
better.
nibbled more on your bread than you did on this bread.
You didn't nibble this one.
I know, that's what I mean.
Because this one doesn't look like
It's a loaf.
You nibble on it.
Okay.
So that was the.
So it's a
that's
success
all for
either way.
today. Yeah.
Thanks.
I think a lot about having people here, and I've avoided it for years. I haven't been friendly to some of the ones who came. Sorry about that. It's been fun, and people have had great experiences here. But it's been hard to have people here, and I think one of the frustrations I have is I don't always feel ready for them, and I need to set things up so that the forest here is protected. People don't know the costs that they cause, and most of them are used to industrial lifestyle. It's hard. They think of themselves as going to an eco resort, which I don't like the idea of. I'd rather see themselves as going to an experiment in using less energy and living more like Amish or something. If you went to the Amish, you wouldn't be like, oh, there's a bug in my cabana, or maybe you would be, but that'd be annoying. And I don't know what to do about it. I think I'm very frustrated by it. I see it, it just pains me. It makes me wonder about the whole project and everybody who comes. The problem is we have very few people here right now, and so if there's garbage at this level, then when there's more people, there'll be more garbage. And if it gets left by the people who are here now, then the people who come will see that, and the place will just be a mess like everywhere else. If you want to come here, then think about the garbage you have and what you create as waste and what happens to it. Get conscious in a real sense, not some poofhead sense. And if you see somebody else's garbage on the ground, pick it up. It's your garbage too. It's part of the group, and so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope each person though can take it as personal responsibility. Never let it hit the ground is one idea. Just never let it get there. Leave no trace. Obviously, we're leaving traces here. We're altering things, but we can do that without destroying it. And garbage is not only ugly, but it's unhealthy and gross. It's a good indicator of whether or not we can actually have people here in a responsible way. I think your bread's almost done. You got to check it.
All right, let's see. Ah!
How's it looking?
You could wash them for me.
Well, yeah, I guess we could have done that. That would have been too full service.
Is it stuck?
That's nice looking.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it came out. And you did not grease the pan through?
Yep.
All right.
A beautiful loaf.
This is halfway through the process.
Well, so in the end, we'll have to make many layers. Back in the States, we usually make these out of brown paper shopping bags.
Okay.
So
That you take from the homeless.
wherever we can get them. Actually, what we use grain bags from a bakery in town.
Okay.
One other cool thing you're going to do today is go out with Chelino, he's our plant expert, and do a grafting. We can only do that during 2 months of the year. So it's cold enough right now, the trees are dormant, and a grafting is like when you take the base of a tree, it's a native tree, we chop it right off and we put something we like better on it. That way we've got the native base and the fruits we want. In this case, it'll probably be quince or pear grafted onto manzanillo, which is a native tree that has a fruit that we are not that into. So, good luck.
Now we're going to go and watch Chelino make a tree grafting.
De injertar en enero o en diciembre es porque los árboles están dormidos. Entonces cuando ellos despiertan ya tienen otro tipo de árboles, entonces los agarras desprevenidos y es bueno. Con un machete o un cuchillo muy fuerte y después con una cuña, un desarmador, un cincel o algo más práctico, una cuña de madera, podemos pegarle, abrirle, según lo que necesites, según la planta. Con tus ojos vas a mirar qué tamaño es la planta. Para que tenga agua, savia, lo pones. Esto lo vas a poner la piel con la piel del tejocote y la piel del injerto. Ponemos dos. Ahí está. Tenemos un nuevo árbol. Un bombazo. Mira. Puedo medir que
Sitting down is sitting down in a trunk, in a tree. The tree goes in the back. So this is going to be the legs.
Ahora sí, viejito. Andamos bailando. Me quitaron el traje y me quitaron la máscara.
7 heads of proportion. I mean, from the head, top head to the tip of the bird. This will be the measure of the head. So we're gonna make the measure
7 times, like
7 times. So we divide from here to here. We divide in 7 proportions, and that's how we're gonna work.
Now, one thing I mean, a lot of people get very discouraged about the future, and I do too. I get almost despondent, I suppose. But it is true that this is the first time in history where such a mass number of people now can share thought. They can do what I'm doing and talking to you, and they can photograph things and share designs. We're making such amazing advances, and you'd think that'd be a good reason for optimism. I have some difficulty being optimistic because I see an energy crisis that is going to be crippling. However, if we're really smart, really quick, we could probably have pockets of utopia and perhaps advanced thought using the energy-rich world that we're in now, applied and then tweaked and experimented with in various ways, so that we can actually come up with a human culture that works for us. And the encouraging part is that we have this connection now with all these ideas. So all we have to do, and most people don't want to do this probably, but all we have to do is drop being enslaved by the culture we were brought up in. That's one of the reasons travel is good for you. It broadens the mind. Reading is good for you.
Podemos buscar el punto. Entonces, no somos expertos tampoco con esos, pero yo quiero comprar casi todos los tipos de horno solar que hay y también aprender cómo hacerlos mejor. Con este hacen pan y comida por como 10,000 personas o algo. I mean, todo el día hacen comida. Y es gratis.
So this is the Earth Temple. It's probably one of the prettiest spots in the property. It's a little hard to find, but there's all kinds of plants in here because it's a microclimate. And so you see these ferns and everything. I've had some botanists come down and they got very excited identifying all the different plants and all that. And you can also kind of see the geology of the place. I mean, look at that tree. It's barely hanging on there and its roots going down through the rocks. Also, you'll notice that this dirt has a different color.
I kind of got lucky with everything here. I came for the forest. I was really looking for nature, but I found that there's more community here for me than I had anywhere else in my life. You know, you barely know people on the same street as you back in Seattle. At least I didn't. And here the community's been great. I felt odd, of course, as a foreigner. I stand out, but people have been very welcoming. And of course, as I've learned Spanish, I've been able to do better. One nice thing is that Aronga has had foreigners for a long time. Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera used to come here and bring in outsiders. And so even though it's really rural, and I'm not really the same demographically as a lot of these folks, I felt accepted here. And a lot of people here travel up to the States to work, so there's a lot of cultural interchange, and that helps as well. There's other places in Mexico where I would not be welcome as an outsider, but I really got lucky here. So I do always wonder what people think about me here. I kind of stand out as a bit strange, and after the years, I've, made sure I am always honest in my dealings and a good guy. So I've been accepted, and I think they think I'm a strange guy. They know I like plants, and it's considered unusual to live out in the woods, but they seem to be amused by me mostly. And here, I mean, if we work on something, then generations of people can benefit from it. And if we're a good example here, then other people can copy the parts they like, and that has already happened. I mean, we've already caused more people to think, hey, we can eat vegetarian food, and I didn't come here to tell them to do it, but we can just do it, and they can see, oh, that's possible.
I've thought a lot about food and why we should eat the way we should. It seems like that's one of the easiest changes we can make. It's not totally easy, but it's one of the best changes we can make to live a more energy efficient and fulfilling lifestyles, change how we eat. The other important thing, and a bigger concept, harder to get your head around, is what we live in, what kind of buildings we live in. I am going to argue that almost all the buildings we live in aren't very good. And I'll propose a better type of building. I guess we should probably focus more on the the positives of new ways of building. So let's just skip right to that and skip the criticism of the oil-fueled industrial world, etc. So here's what I want for the building here. First of all, we should always build at an inclined spot. It should always be on an incline. We should dig into that incline. This gives us several advantages. One is it gives us 2 ground floors if we have one of the other floors be on the upper side. So 2 ground floors is a big win. Plus, by digging in, we're getting the sun, heat of the sun, energy of the sun, and the coolness of the earth. So I'm kind of interested in the idea of really thinking about what is the nature of property rights and how can a group of people fully own their land and zone it correctly and build on it correctly so that it does not destroy the actual land. One measurement of that you could imagine would be how much biomass is there around people, because in general biomass disappears. I mean, children will trample things, and basically we just kill everything. So this is part of the challenge, is to figure out what human culture and way of building and doing things and thinking can we create here to avoid the most common destructive human problems. And I'll tell you, I don't have a path for that. I don't have an answer. I have a set of answers, and I'm occasionally open to hearing other people's answers. I do know that freedom is a joke. I've had some people come here and they want to be free to do what they want, but the problem is in an incoherent pattern of behavior they will destroy everything. So rules are necessary. Question then is, well, what rules? You got to wonder that. Anybody who does come here, I have some rules now, and my goal is to have the smallest number of rules necessary to make the place be amazing and sustainable. Well, this is some meat I'm about to eat. The topic of eating meat, of course, is a little bit controversial. I get mail from people saying I shouldn't eat meat and that I'm bad. I do like that this meat doesn't fit some of the reasons that a vegetarian or a vegan might be against eating meat. It's not polluted with toxic things. It isn't subsidized in any way. It's very good environmentally, as opposed to some other forms of meat. I know where it comes from. I know the animals are happy. And I cook it myself. I cook it in a steam cooker to save energy. And in this case, I added some tasty, really tasty ginger chutney. Well, this is good timing to have more people coming around. This avocado tree is totally full of avocados. Look at these avocados all in here. And this is just a small tree, but it's loaded with them. Here I am with some broccoli in this little garden next to the pool garden, and you'll see some insect damage going on in the leaves of these broccolis and this pepper as well. The normal thing to do is then to say, oh, something's eating my plants, I better do something about it and use a chemical or something to fix it. I'm not going to do anything. Whatever it is, it's eating them as food for something else, and they're attracting those things. Plus, they haven't hurt the actual fruit yet, and so, you know, most of this leaf's just fine. So I'm not really too worried about it. I will keep an eye on it. But the wrong reaction is to think, oh, the problem is the insect. The insect is part of the biosystem and may play other beneficial parts. So we'll see. Oh, look, a nice blackberry blossom. We just had blackberry season. I feel like there's 2 of them or something. Probably the biggest success down here has been the tomatoes. Tomatoes are a real challenge in this climate, especially if you want to do it without a greenhouse, which is how most people do it. This thing has produced so many tomatoes this year. We just hauled a bunch out. You can see that there's still more developing in here. These bushes got nice and big. The garden has a little extra nitrogen boost, and so I can almost consider tomatoes to be a solved problem. Was that when I had redone a roof, we dumped some tiles somewhere, and then I found that there was a tomato growing out of those later, and that implied to me that they like somewhere that has a little more heat. And even the thermal mass, the tiny thermal mass of those tiles made a microclimate where that one tomato could come out. Well, that tells me that if I try enough places, I'll learn where the tomatoes want to grow instead of forcing the tomatoes to grow where I think they should grow. It's a whole different attitude. It involves a little bit of experimentation and a little luck. but it's really not hard to do. And I think anybody can do that where they're at. You could do that even in an urban setting. And the other interesting thing is that as we do that, we're actually evolving those tomatoes to like this environment. The ones that come up are the ones that want to germinate here, that like the soil and the rain and everything that's here. And over time, we'll end up with Bosque tomatoes. And because we aren't forcing the system by growing what we think we want to grow, instead, we're growing what wants to grow here. Let me say that again, so make it more clear maybe. We don't water, fertilize, and force the ground to do what we think we should grow. We work in conjunction with the earth to see what kind of soil there is, what kind of rain pattern, and we try and do agriculture within those limits. Here the experiment is to live without outside water. That includes rivers and things. It does not include rain. We definitely want to capture all the rain we can. I do have some buildings here that don't currently capture water, and I am bothered by that quite a bit. I believe that I have to design the roofs differently, and I'm not even that motivated to do that because the storage is so expensive. It's so prohibitively expensive that my cisterns all fill up anyway. I don't even have to have very good gutters. Get. Well, I guess the rains are here. Definitely here. That's good. Fill up the cistern. All the roofs are leaking, of course. Seems impossible to fix all the roofs. I think construction is flawed the way it's done. It's stupid for humans to live this way. A little bit of hail. See what happens. There's a brief time during the year when we have a lot of water. We have water surplus. It's after the cisterns are full and the rains are still coming. So we have more water than we need. It's a good time of the year to wash up a lot of old blankets and things. And I don't want to get too used to having a water surplus. It's probably better to build more cisterns and things like that. But it's a good time of year to clean. This is late July, so. Well, 6 years ago I got the solar panels in after having spent 2 years in the dark, which was a good thing to spend some time without electricity. It kind of cuts the cord, it cuts the addiction to electricity. This system was put in by a real nice guy. He's a Canadian guy. He lives up in San Miguel all year. I'm going to shut down the incoming system and all the circuits. And the reason I'm doing this is because after 6 years the batteries are kind of tired. They don't hold charge too well. And this is my inverter here. The batteries are down here. There's 8 of them, and they are hooked up. They're deep cycle gel cell batteries are used in a golf cart. They're made to deliver a small amount of electricity for a long period of time, as opposed to vehicle batteries, which are made to deliver a bunch of electricity really quickly. So they're a special kind. And we're going to disconnect them. I'm going to bring them into town, and I've got the other ones showing up soon, the new ones. So we'll be hopefully back online by tonight. Well, I guess we're not quite ready to do the batteries yet. I increasingly am suspicious when people tell me that they're ready for something. And I was promised that the batteries would be here on Saturday. Luckily, I'm suspicious. I don't trust anyone anymore. So I called the place up, and they were not in on Saturday. So I would have disconnected all these batteries, traveled an hour into town, dinked around, not gotten the batteries, come back, and failed. So luckily, in this case, and trust them, and so I can skip that step, and I'll find out when they're going to actually have the batteries in. So we've just about got the batteries hooked up. We used the photo I took to make sure the cable's in the right spots, and hopefully they are, and they don't just blow up or something weird. We'll find out if it's hooked up correctly in a second. I feel I'm sort of a scientist. I don't work on higher level physics or the fancy things that we've been able to do with magic science. But I look at the science of figuring out how we can do things in older ways, given the new context, mixing it with the new technologies. And that's sort of a technological mixing. But I try and use good reasoning, and I've always done experiments, not in a always well-ordered or well-documented way, but certainly taking risks and being open to unexpected results and then working from there. So we'll see. Science rules. Well, I wake people up early in the morning with a bell. I got to get them out of their industrial consumer lifestyle into one of waking up and living in the light. Wake up and do shit. Wake up and live. Don't spend your life chatting late at night. And I'm using this bell. It's true. Yarr. It's obnoxious as hell. But if I have to use it to wake people up, fine, I will do it. And I don't care if I disturb them. They're signed on to the Bosque experience anyway. And Xandra gave me this bell, which was very nice. Thank you, Xandra. I'm not sure if you knew how I'd use it, but I think you would like it. You know, you understand the idea that we have to culturally sculpt environments, and you've seen the results. So, thank you very much for the tool that I'm going to use to get people out of bed, to see the sunrise, to eat some food, to drink some hot liquid, and we get going on the day. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Or we can just be, you know, people who talk about stuff. Or we can be able to do things. Well, it's quite a cloud.
It's crazy, man.
What do you see?
Man, I see the end of the world. This is the 21st of December here.
Yeah.
This is one of the craziest shapes I've seen.
It's beautiful.
The colors now exactly with the sunset, and just the top part is pink.
Yeah. Normally we're up here looking at the sunrises, but in some cases it's a sunset. And you can see the sun over the lake and everything. We're at the View. Another spot to watch the sunset is up at Cute Hill. You can look that way. It's not, there's a hill in the way, and it's not as good all the time as the sunrise, but in this case the sun is hitting the clouds over the lake. Big mushroom cloud. It looks like a mushroom cloud.
It is. It's like an atom bomb.
Yeah. Magic mushroom, maybe. Who knows?
Damn, like I don't want to run and get my camera because I'm wasting time watching this.
Well, and it's going quick. The light's changing by the second, so it's already not as vibrant as it was. So, dude, what's your name?
Mr. Oogie. You seen this?
Mr. Oogie.
You seen
Oh,
the
I missed the
now?
lightning again? I don't know. I missed it. I'll keep watching.
Mr. Oogie.
So you're Mr. Oogie. That works for me. Senor Oogie in Mexico. And so you're traveling around.
And I have no pen.
You have no pen, which
no watch.
we have issues with.
Yeah.
We're going to work on that.
Mm-hmm.
Might have to recreate a scene later. Good with video, good with camera. So we're going to promote this guy's photography. And of course, there's many flowers and targets. This guy was already out here with his camera looking for pretty stuff. And we got small stuff, we got big stuff, we got action. And the cloud is now it's now a little grayer. So night's coming. Well, Mr. Oogie, Senor Oogie, welcome to the Bosque. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to be here.
We're going to fuck
Beautiful
around with,
place.
it is a nice place, yeah. We're going to mess around with a lot of things. We're going to live in nature as best we can. And another guy's going to arrive tomorrow. And somebody else arrives this week. And then somebody else arrives in a week. And each person is an adventure. So
Party.
See what happens. Well, there's plenty of party in the world. It better be a deep party, you know. So, and the guy coming is Charles. He's been here before. He's a great guy. He knows how to do great paper mache and masks and things. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. I saw him like 3-4 years ago.
And that's when he was here 3
Yeah.
years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
A lot can happen in 3 years.
Yeah, and he's just a lovely person. Heart made of gold. So.
Excellent compost.
So it looks like people just go in there and just watch the tree grow. Like,
That's true. That's actually kind of what occurs. All right, well, if anybody sees Kate, tell her I'm looking for her.
okay.
She can yell Brian, Brian, Brian instead of me yelling Kate, Kate, Kate. All kinds of people have come through here, and they come for totally different reasons. We get a lot of young people who are traveling the world, and they're just looking for alternatives to the society that they came from and that they see. Some people come to learn about agriculture, and other people are here for the art. And I like the idea that it's diverse, because then they really mix it up. You get this kind of a creative cauldron, almost like a continuing festival. I don't always know what that is, but I get notes from people after years of them being here, after they've left, and they say the place changed their life. And that's probably, for me in the Bosque, the most rewarding thing about having people here. Yeah. As I look at these, it's a lot of memories of all these people. And they've come here for all kinds of different reasons. Everybody has their own adventure.
True, everyone's seeking something.
Yeah. Why'd you come here?
Don't know, just wanted to see what the forest had to offer, and wanted some solitude, and wanted to get to know the place, wanted to, I don't know, it's the first experience I've ever had like this, so that's what kind of appealed to me.
Yeah, well, a lot of people come here for that. They come here to get away from everything and just clear their head, get away from the city.
Yeah.
And others are coming here specifically for the other people that are here to bounce ideas around, and we get, Mexicans and foreigners and, older people, younger people. Everybody's looking for something new.
I think I just wanted to get my hands dirty. I'm tired of sitting in front of a computer. I just wanted to actually do some physical work and just kind of, I don't know, get dirty almost to match my mind. It's my last day today, and I've been here for 3 months. Originally I came for 1 month, 1.5 months, and then I came back for a longer period of time, learning new things, learning how to carve, learning how to make things, learning how the forest works, and how everything that Brian has put into this place is kind of almost a slice of his vision into what he's trying to do with the whole place. I'll definitely hope that I can come back, and I'll definitely try and come back and see what happens and see how Brian's vision has transformed this place even further. And along the way I've met people that have been here 5 years ago, and they've said this place has changed dramatically. So many new things have popped up, and I'm kind of excited to see what else will happen in the future.
I guess I didn't know a lot about Mexican culture when I moved here, and it's been eye-opening to get into Mexican culture and fun. I do plan to become a Mexican citizen, and I guess over time I become more Mexican. The truth is I don't really identify with myself as a nationality anyway. I don't think, I'm an American, and I know a lot of people that's their primary source of identity, is their national identification, but for me, I'm more interested in people as they are. I don't want to be judged or judge other people based on the country they're from. And I hope that people who come here are also open to that. We don't have to be from France or from this place, and that defines us. I'd rather we be defined by the ethics we follow and what energy we use, what world we create. That's where my loyalty is. So my loyalty is to the planet in some big sense, but really I guess to North America. Turtle Island, that's who I am. I'm a North American.
I like living here in the forest a lot. I've been here long enough that it kind of freaks me out when I go to the city. I enjoy when people come here, and enjoy that they learn, but really for me the most satisfying thing is being able to be part of the restoration of nature, knowing that I'm planting trees. When I go somewhere and I see trees that are 400 years old, I imagine the person who planted those, and I kind of thank them. I appreciate their vision, and so as I get older, I want to know that I've planted a lot of trees, that I've helped make this forest be like an old growth forest. And it's a tiny place, but I'll know that I've done what I can do. Well, I'm gonna have to decide whether to continue or not. The whole new concept of doing videos and things. You can help me out. If you see this video, you can be part of the team by sharing and liking videos that go online. It's a way of supporting the Bosque in this strange project. I gotta find some way to be sustainable. Even though sustainability is the goal of this project, and I can feed myself and I can eat out of the forest and raise rabbits and eat chicken eggs and things, but if we're gonna grow it, then I have to find a way to buy enough toilet paper to wipe people's asses with. So, not personally, but to buy it. So there are costs, and there's a lot of them. They add up. Some idealistic people do not understand that. But anyway, if you like it, then be part of the team, and let's get it going. Let's get more and more people supporting it somehow. I don't know. We'll see. Wow, what a beautiful morning out here. It's really gorgeous. I made some hot tea and got some hard-boiled eggs ready to go for anybody that wants to join me. Nobody's up here. I'm working a lot to improve the view area where there's these beautiful sunrises so that I can get people out of bed and start their day. A lot of the Bosque experiment is about cultural kind of sculpting, cultural design, how we can live in optimal ways. And one of the problems we have is that it isn't necessarily in our nature to do what makes us happy. That's pretty clear from the fact that we eat poison, that we're poisoning the earth. A lot of people are pretty desperately unhappy. Even the people who are richer aren't particularly happier. So you got to wonder, well, how should we live, you know? And I think one of the things I believe here at the Bosque is we can make choices about what we do and how we live. And one of those is get up in the morning. And yeah, it's chilly out, but it's a good time to move your body real quick and eat some good food. Maybe chat with some people or do some yoga, play with some circus toys or something. And get some of the best art that there is here. I mean, you can't make better art than this. This is great stuff. And it changes over time. Sometimes the sunrise will go for 40 minutes. You know, you get the first bit of light out there, first glimmers in the clouds of colors, and the colors change. And then the sun will come up and move, and the sky will light up in different ways. And every day is a little bit different. Just like every day can be different here with all the creative activities we have. So essentially, I'm trying to figure out how to not be alone up here at the sunrise. And I guess we'll just arrange things so that the people who are here are rewarded for really engaging with the day. There's some people who come and they've stayed up real late and they drink and then they can't function in the morning. They're not useful for anything. They don't learn anything. At night they just sit around chatting, which could be educational. But some people just chat their life away. You know, they're not reading even. They're not doing. They're not moving atoms. They're not crafting things. They're not really learning deeply. They're just kind of chatting because that's the way they were trained and the place they came from. Damn, that's nice out there. You know, the birds and the dogs. We're going to put a
bird bath down here with a spot to sit and photograph them in the morning, because there's a lot of really cool birds that live here. Anyway, so I guess if you're watching this, I would invite you to come to the Bosque, or if you come here, to get out of bed, start your day, engage, live your life in the light, live in the light. And you'll get rewarded for it here in this culture.
When you wake up in the morning, hear the ding-dong ring. You wake up in the morning, hear the ding-dong ring. Go marching to the table.